Welcome back. Hello everybody. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. Mine has been brilliant so far. Nice and quiet, which is how I like it. Building up towards Halloween. I've got my house all decorated with spooky pictures and everything's all ta-da! This is just it's going to be me random rambling, which is nothing unusual, I can hear you all say. True. I'm not very good at explaining stuff that's in my head. I kind of assume that everybody knows what's in my head. And something that's occurred to me, as you can see, I'm on my my shared world with my other friends, as opposed to Mulberry Villa. I've realised that there's something that I haven't explained about my builds, and I'm pointing at this cardinal point build as a future project just as an example. What I've been doing, and I will go onto the map and go onto the big picture, is, as you can see, with my exploration, this is basically, well, there's my base there, you can see it. That's where I kind of started out, and I've done quite a lot of exploration around where I am. And then I took it upon myself to go to each, well, sort of map-wise would be your ordinal points. And then, you know, north, south, east and west would be your cardinal points. And what I've been doing is I have a build on every single one of my ordinal points, and it's my intention to have a build on every single one of the cardinal points as well. There's no particular reason for it, it's just I want to do it. So I'm going to. And you've seen the builds, you've seen my sky platform and all that sort of thing on the various points. There is a new one, which is why if I go back to here, I only have one cardinal point build left to do. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but you will have noticed that I had some undesignated teleporters over here. I was trying to think of the word then. Like, there is a word for these things. So you see I've got the sky platform, and the death maze is another one. And look, with all of the haunted house things, I've gone and built myself a haunted house. I'm going to take you to have a look at it. At the moment it's accessible only by teleporter, because I don't know, I think I might have been an eagle in a previous life or something. I love being high up. I'm one of the few primates that's not afraid of heights. I just love being up high. So I love building up high. So we're gonna zoom through here and watch the spinning block, and I'm just gonna have to I'll just random. That's a good thing. Yeah, I won't talk or anything. I'll just random. Oh dear, goodness me, it's one of those days, I say. Yes, just while we're waiting for everything to, oh, there we go, to load. Sometimes I don't know why it does that. It kind of releases your mouse for you. It'll say, well, you don't really want to do that. Yes, well, yes, I do. Right, so we're just waiting for everything to load up for us, and I'm going to give it that time as we look out towards the north. So this is obviously, well, obviously, she says, nobody has a clue actually. If I look at the map, you'll see where we are. We are north. So I finally put something in my north. And I was kind of hoping for something a bit desolate, maybe Arctic. And as you can see, no, I've kind of managed to end up in a canyon biome. But I kind of like the sound that you get from the canyon biome, because you get that sort of the wind and all that kind of thing. So it is pretty bleak, and if you look, we are very high up and isolated, and I like that. It's, you know, we're on this sort of ledge. So my intention is to build a very sort of rickety looking staircase going all the way down. But for now, the only way to get to it is via this teleporter. And now I'm sure you've all seen already, this is the blueprint build of the haunted house. And I've got this very stunted autumn wood tree, which I think is brilliant. I haven't changed anything. This is exactly how the blueprint is. All I've done is sort of out here is I've added a few weeds just to bring in some more authenticity. So we shall open up our little gate. We're going to be polite guests here, not the usual thugs that we are. And we'll go around here in the graveyard, and I've just put in a little, RIP, and there's this column. I left it deliberately because I think it's great. It kind of integrates everything. The other people will probably go, no, it's ruining my OCD or whatever else. Tough. That's my answer to that. I just think it's yeah, I like it. This tower out of nowhere. And as you can see, I mean, this is incredibly isolated, and we're just taking a walk around the outside. I wouldn't recommend at the moment going out this gate because it's a long way down there. But as you can see, we are actually very close to where it's really cold as well. There's lots of snow, and that's what makes this really nice. So we've got this almost abandoned, creepy old building that just is hanging. I just remembered I put on low gravity to make it easier to build and to make it so that if I did fall, because I have to say that's a long way down. If I fell, I'd have enough time to gather my wits together and hit my glider. So yes, I think we've got ourselves a very nice sort of bleak environment, but not your usual haunted house kind of environment. And we can look along these outside walls, and there's all the creepy eyes looking out at you and all the vines. It's a very nice little build, and we're going to go inside as well and have a look around. I love these doors. I mean, thanks to the catching the ghosties at night, I have far more doors than I'll ever use, I think. But you never know. You never know how often these will come in handy. So we'll enter into the house and close ourselves in. And these beautiful sconces with the cobwebs on there. Oh, they're so great. And then you've got this sort of dining table here with the chairs on one side and the little banquette on that side. Banquette? Sometimes my pronunciation's not so good. And there's another sort of chair in there. I like that. That's very cozy. And we've got this little cupboard under the stairs, which leads to all these spooky eyes. I love them. And your little bookcases in there. Quite a nice use for a cupboard under the stairs. And then we kind of go into this little bit of an open plan type kitchen, where you've got your worktops here, and you've got your range, and your little, I'm presuming that's a little sink so you can wash your dishes, and then shelves to store things on, and your little chest there. So very compact but very functional little kitchen. So I like that. And then we're in here, we've got a little sitting room. I think I can hear a trog outside, and that's absolutely brilliant, because it really does make this even spookier. You're in this spooky house, and all you can hear is behind you, like scary stuff. And here we have this beautiful little bookcase, and your blazing fire, and a cozy obsidian couch to sit on right next to a pot, a death statue. Nice. Okay, so this is obviously leading to the outside, and we've seen all the way around. So our next bit is to go up the stairs. And what do we have here? Well, there's a nice little table here, and let's go through the open areas first. And we've got another little sitting room here, a very sort of grand looking armchair there, and one there, and then there's all armchairs. More books, so obviously we like to read when we've got spooky eyes staring at us, and got a nice view out the window. I mean, that's a pretty spectacular view. I wouldn't mind actually having a view like that for real. So yeah, I quite like that. I love this sort of torn wallpaper. So this looks like it would be an entrance into our bathroom. And we have what looks like a sink. I don't know, I haven't tried it, if you can actually put water in there and have it stay. I'm presuming not, because it's actually 2 half blocks and water is a whole block. So that wouldn't work as a functional sink with, you know, being able to put water in or anything. But it's still, it looks the part. And then here we have what looks to me like a little sort of stand where you'd put all of your shampoos and kind of things. And then this is your bathtub. And then round here is your little shower cubicle. So again, it's a very functional little room, and I like the use of all the different like this is the siltstone wall, and by putting it this way, it does look just like a tiled bathroom floor. So there's a very good use of materials within this blueprint. I find that quite impressive. Then we've got another cupboard under the stairs, and this one has a trap door. And if you go into the trap door, you see there's a little hidden chest, which I like that. I think that's nice, little secret chest. And, you know, again, we've got a nice look behind at both of these windows at the view out there, which is starting to get dark, which means ghosties are going to start to appear soon. And then up we go again. And this, you can see, we're starting to see like the roof detailing here, which that's a very nice use of the new stair blocks to give you that roof. And when I was building this, I did notice that the floors, they're actually deeper. If you look, I mean, they're kind of 3 deep, and that's allowed for a lot of hidden lighting and to allow for the different types of flooring, which is very good, because I've noticed when I do my building, I've generally left 2 blocks so that, you know, I've kind of got, you know, a ceiling and a floor, but I've never thought to actually go 3 deep to have something in between. So that's given me a lot of ideas for what I'm going to do in future builds. And then here we have another bookshelf and shelves and a little window, and of course this is now the master bedroom with this sort of built-in bed. And there is sort of a missed trick here in that we don't have the ability to create a double bed, because a double bed here, and I'm pretty sure I've said it before, to have different styles of bed. I mean, how amazing would, say, an obsidian Gothic type looking bed look here? It would look phenomenal. So I don't know, is that me doing a block request? Give us a double Gothic bed. Never satisfied. And then this, to me, at least doing this, it almost looks like shelves, like having a walk-in wardrobe of sorts. So you've got, imagine putting all of your clothes on these shelves, and I think that's quite a nice imaginative use of wooden slabs, something I wouldn't have thought of, and I enjoy discovering new things like that. And as you can see, there's quite a few of these trapdoors, and they all have a hidden chest underneath. And then there's this desk here. I haven't altered the blueprint, but I have to say that if I were to do any alteration, I would turn these bookcases around the other way, because my kind of thing is, if you sat at this desk and you've got these bookcases, you're going to want to access the books And I know that you can access them from behind, but my mind is always going to how it looks visually, and I think you'd want to have the books where you can, you know, sort of peruse the titles and that's the one I want. So that would be the only change there that I would make. These spooky eyes everywhere, it's great. Ever get that feeling you're being watched? Because you are. And again, more of that beautiful roof detail. And you know, trapdoors everywhere. I do like it, and windows looking out. So yes, this is, you know, the blueprint build of the haunted house. Again, with lots of different things. I mean, this using the slabs to create your little barrier for your stairway is a very, very neat idea, and one I'll probably want to borrow. Oh, can you hear the trog again? Oh. And so yes, I wanted to show off that I did. Yeah, I haven't shown me building it or anything like that, because there's lots of other people out there who've immediately gone, oh look, here's the blueprint, let's all build it. So I think you're probably sick and tired of seeing it built, but I thought I'd just give you a little tour. And with that skybox, and just looking up at that, I mean, wow, that's a creepy screenshot for you all. It does look very imposing when you kind of look up at it like that, and I can just imagine, you know, all the children coming up here with all the little bags going trick or treat and kind of being really scared. Yeah, so much fun. So yes, that's just me showing off this build, and I'll probably we've only done about 15 minutes of recording. So I might just do a little bit of recording on Mulberry Villa, showing a little bit of what I've been doing there, and that should be enough for another full video. And listen to me go, oh dear, I am terrible. But anyway, so there will be a little bit more added on to here, but just for now, this is me saying cheerio, and see you in a bit. Bye now. Well, hello everybody. Trying to pick up from where I recorded last. Last time, no, can't remember. But I'm now on Mulberry Villa, and as you can see, I'm at my little place. And the reason why I'm working on my place at the moment is because I've put up that little Halloween installation in my little plot that I've got in Central City. And I've been working around it a little bit, creating the second part of my little marketplace. But I kind of wanted to keep that little display up, at least until after Halloween. So there I was with time to spare and not quite sure what to do with it. So I've been making some renovations in my own little patch. And I don't know if anybody else ever gets this sort of feeling, but I mean, I've moved a few times in my life, and I always find that the first, I don't know, a couple of months that you're in that house, it doesn't feel like it's your own place. You almost feel like you're house sitting for somebody else. And then after a while, you stop bumping into the walls in the middle of the night, and you wake up and you look around and you go, this is my home, and you suddenly feel that everything's quite fine again. And this is sort of how I've been feeling with Mulberry Villa, is that I've felt very much like a guest, a welcomed guest, of course, but a guest nonetheless. And it's just only been recently that I've started to feel at home. So this is where there's been some changes made. Now, as you can see, this is my little workroom, and I've got a couple of more processors and that. And I've just, yes, shut the door as you're going through it. That's so clever, Tashlan. And this is where I used to have my little healing pond. And this was where I used to have my little animal trap. Well, that's not there anymore. As you can see, if you look up here, there's sort of kind of random blocks everywhere. These are what I call my construction lines. I can't think of anything else to call them. And this was me trying to work out what the maximum elevation was of the 4 claims that I've got. Now I'll look at the map and show you what I mean. You see, I've got these 4 claims making up one large square. So what I was trying to do was trying to figure out round this perimeter what would be the absolute highest point compared to where I am now, because I know that the land actually does move upwards into this jungle area. And the only way I could think of was just to go around it and go up as high as the highest point and then come back, and then I'd have my high point. Not very clever, not very scientific, I'm sure, but it was effective. So, I've made some changes. I don't think I've actually shown this completed pathway, but I have done so much that I'm at a loss really to know what to show you. So the best thing is, I think, just to jump in with you can see there's little teasy glimpses there and little teasy glimpsy there. Is just to turn around and go, oh look. Before we do that, let's have a look at the procession of night critters going along my convenient little path. Oh golly, that's cute. There they are, they're patrolling. Da 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 da, checking everything's all right. Lovely. Right, after that amusing little interlude, we'll have a look. I've named my place, and you can see there's the makings here. I'm starting to build a wall. I want to make it a sort of walled enclosure, but I've got so many plans running around in my head. I want to make a sort of jungle garden and pathways and walkways, so it's not just going to be very stark and buildingy. But I thought I'll start off with the stark and buildingy and then glamorize it afterwards. And buildingy is a word. It must be. I use it. So I'm going to do the turnaround reveal and show you the makings of Tashlan. So I've even named my little pad now, and this is basically the front part of my wall, and I'm quite pleased with it. I've done a lot of work with it. I mean, it started with just a blank wall all the way up, and of course that was never ever going to work for me. So then it's adding different things in, and the funny thing is, once you start tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, the building kind of takes on a life of its own. And instead of having that little pond that I had and this little trap over here, come on, get cross with me, is I now have this beautiful fountain over here. Yes, he's still cross with me, and I can stand here and I can heal, and while the creatures bloop through there and land up in the trap. This is my first ever fountain. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, come on, get cross with me. I don't care. I'm safe in here. There's quite a lot of detail work. It starts off with a basic shape, and then you just add more and more and more and more stuff to it, and it's one of those things, and I think that's what's really fun. When you notice a mistake. How annoying. Right, well, we can't have that. So yeah, you're going to watch some impromptu building now. Oh, golly, didn't expect that, but so what? But yes, can't have those heads facing the wrong way. Ah, much better. Calm is restored. It's funny, these things that are sent to try us, isn't it? Oh, there we go. There's another one's coming after me. The amount of creatures I catch in this trap now that I've made this very central, it's astonishing. And I'm umming. Oh well. Um's a word. If we all use it, it's got to be a word. Oh look, I've got a Chizard patrolling along my wall. That's it. And that's actually one of the things that I was thinking of doing originally, was to sort of create an area where I could have animals patrolling up and down the walls. It might still happen, but probably not the way I've got it at the moment. It will require a couple of adjustments. You never know. It's still percolating away. But let's have a look at what we've... Oh, well, on my little lookout, there's a chest. So we'll go out through here. Now, this is going to be sort of my grand entrance eventually. And I've kind of prettied it up a little bit, but I haven't finished it. You'll see it just kind of ends rather abruptly here. But what's going to happen with this is it's going to come up here, which is why this chest is kind of an interesting little happenstance. It's going to come up here, and then it's going to meander down to this, what I'm calling a watering hole. So that it's going to have points of interest even sort of outside of the bounds of Tashlan. And as you can see from this point of view, it really does look quite pretty. It looks kind of imposing, which is what I want. I want it to sort of look like this is an imposing edifice, but it's also quite welcoming. I kind of think, you know, if anybody's been to Sun City or any kind of sort of getaway, they often have these imposing edifices. So you kind of go in and you get the whole sort of sanitized experience, and that's sort of what I'm aiming for here. Is it's going to be wild, but it's going to be a kind of controlled wild. So to show you some of the features, I mean, you know, steps, and then obviously this grand entrance. And I've used the tombstones to be able to create this text effect, and I really like it. There's nothing actually in each of these rooms at the moment. I've got a bit of lighting, and in these, I'm trying to think of the best way to show you. Wherever there's these three sort of accents, it's basically, this is where the ceiling is, that is where the floor is, and that is where all my concealed lighting is. So although I've put lighting in the rooms as well, I've added that sort of concealed lighting. Oh, me and stairways. Just to give it that extra bit of oomph. I do intend to kind of kit these rooms out as if they were guest rooms, people who are coming to visit, and they kind of get to live in the walls. So I'm thinking of having a bed and some bookcases and all this kind of thing. At the moment, it's all just in my head, where all good ideas die sometimes. You see, it's got this lovely view looking out, and it's all very safe and sanitary, and we've got a little way to go up here to the little top lookout, where I'm wanting to sort of turn this into possibly a little dining area where people will sit and have their breakfast and look out at this wonderful view and ponder what they're going to do with their day. And it's very simple. And like I say, if I was to have pets patrolling up here, I would probably replace this wall, which, you know, they can jump up and walk along, with fence to try and confine them within this area. I'm not entirely sure how well that would work. I would probably then put a fence up here to sort of save the diners from marauding animals. But as you can see, I mean, it's got a really, really good view, and I will turn claim lines off when I'm finished doing all the building. They're just on at the moment because well, along with my construction lines here, which is what I'm calling them. You see, this is my sort of highest elevation. So my tower isn't actually that high. In some areas it's going to be not a wall at all. So it is possible that I have sort of plans to not make it entirely uniform. I want to add some kind of difference and a reason to walk along the wall and to see the view and to have things to look at, to have things to visit. This particular section here, which is going to stop with another watchtower here, which is coming up through this tree. Now this tree, is the pathway up to a sightseeing point, which I don't think I've shown you, and I will show you now. So having the tower here, I'm going to have some way of getting onto this path, and then you'll come up here, and I'll show you this completed bit. And then you're sort of walking this path into the jungle trees, which I can imagine, if I could do this for real, would that be amazing? If there was a safe little path through the Amazon treetops. It'd be like, wow, that's quite amazing. So yes, so we'll follow along this path, and I think this is the path that I showed you. I was ever so proud of, and then found out that my recording hadn't gone very well. So we're hoping it'll go better. And you can hear how the sound effects change. And now we're into sort of jungle area, and we're walking along our path. And we follow this path. And I've tried to leave it sort of fairly primitive. You don't want this to be too sophisticated, do you? It's safe, but with a hint of danger. And I have been using the haunted stuff to putting it to good use. Trying to find the right word. I can't speak today. What's wrong with me? Pull yourself together, Tashlan. And here's a tricksy little lookout just over here, and we go further up, and another little place where you can ooh and ah at where you are and look back at the path and see how high you've climbed with all these steps. And another little platform. It's all about, for me, sort of the spirit of adventure. And then, whoo, these are a lot of stairs, aren't they? Up and up and up and up and up, right through a tree. The stairs in a living tree. Astonishing. And then, of course, you have another little lookout point just here, where you can look out over the jungle, and you can apparently meet the very friendly Chizard twins. I do have plans still to put probably a sort of gazebo here, where you've walked up all of those stairs, you've worked up a thirst, you're really tired, somewhere to sit and have a refreshing milkshake and talk about your day. Then there's this next set of stairs, go right through the canopy of the tree. Wow, it's starting to get so... Ooh, but look at that. It's starting to get cold. Cold in the jungle? Oh yes, people, we are that high up. It's cold up here. Look, ice, snow, and another Chizard guardian. Trust me, these are wild Chizards. They are not pets that I've stationed everywhere. Although it has given me an idea to station pets in these areas. Thank you for the idea, Creativerse. And here we go. The topmost lookout, the highest point of the tallest tree in the jungle. Isn't this amazing? Be careful not to walk through the vines quite like that. But it does give you quite a good view if you do that. So yes, this is what I've been working on. So I've been quiet. People have said that they've missed me, and you know, hugs and squidgels to you all, because it's really nice to feel that you've been missed and that people look out for you. But as you can see, Tashi's been working, and I find it's probably just me, because everybody else seems to be able to do it all right. I really struggle to concentrate on a build when I'm thinking, oh, but I'm supposed to be talking as well, which is why I do tend to present you with a ta-da, fait accompli sort of thing. It's like, look what I've done, look what I made, aren't I clever, la la la. It's simply because, I mean, as you can tell, I'm struggling now, just as I'm walking down the pathway. Can you imagine if I'm building, I'll be like build, 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 build. Oh, by the way, people, yes, I'm still, I haven't forgotten you're here, but I'm just, you know, build, 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 build. Building on Creativerse, it's a lot of fun to do. It's hours of entertainment. It honestly is. But it's a kind of solitary entertainment. It's not something that I think, ooh, thank you, low gravity, for saving me from a terrible fall. So that's why I tend to do a build and then take you on a tour of my build. Simply because I can't do the two together. If anybody wants to see me do a build, then what I'll possibly do is I'll sort of film it and then do a voiceover on it and speed it up or something like that, so you know, kind of you just see it come up very quickly. I think that's probably the best compromise I can come up with. And yes, I'm just walking, you know, the entire route here, and I mean, look at this. I didn't even know this was here until I did my little construction lines, and I just think that this is going to be an absolutely beautiful little area to develop into, you know, sort of baths, and I don't really want to civilize it overly much. I'm thinking primarily just maybe paths and putting down some kind of seating. I have a plan to use the carpeted haunted stairs to make little benches, just to dot it around to make it sort of explorer friendly, but not really to mess with this beautiful sort of pre-made natural landscape. And as you can see, I mean, this is where I'm saying that the wall isn't going to be very high in some places, so it's not intended as a security wall. It's basically a boundary wall. It's going to be something that will be able to be seen, so that I kind of know where my boundaries are. And so this is a beautiful walk through all of these vines. It's spectacular, and this is why I want this wall to be a walk. And as you can see, I've created already this little tunnel through this tree, and this is the tree that we've just done our little tour up. So to me, this is a nice joining point where the wall can join into this tour. So I'm planning on, let me try and jump up here, planning on integrating this into this pathway here. So I'm going to wiggle through these vines. From here, create another sort of downward stairway to here that will then take us on to, and these pixies are coming after me. Whoa, where am I? I'm lost. Oh, it's okay. Oh, go away. I don't want to fight. I don't want no fisticuffs. And then it sort of leads out. I'm I know I'm being chased by pigsies, but they're slow. Onto this sort of very green wooded area. So our little tour takes you from the savannah through the jungle and out into almost an English country garden type thing. So I've inadvertently picked a very, very good spot for everything. So this is why, I mean, I tend to be very scatty when it comes to my projects, because I just think, oh, I'm practical. So, well, I need a building for this, and I need a building for that. And I just throw them up, and then I kind of think, oh, they're ugly. And then I try and beautify them. So this is my first attempt at actually planning out an entire area. And it's a big area. I mean, 4 claims is a large area. And I've got plans also to expand into that grassland area. So yes, there's a lot on my plate. It's shaping up. I wanted to show you what I've done with some detailing here. This is actually a trap door, but it makes a very nice sort of inset window. And if you want to open your window, well, you can. And it's like, I love it. And I've realized this is something that we are missing so terribly badly on Creativerse, is windows that you can open and shut. I mean, we've got doors that you can open and shut, but we don't have windows. And, I open up my windows when it's hot and I close them when it's cold. And it would be lovely to have that sort of functionality as well, is to have windows that open. Now, I'm aware that that's probably quite complicated, considering how the windows are programmed at the moment, how they merge in. I mean, this is, 6 windows all merged into one. So it's probably an impractical sort of thing. But it would be nice to have perhaps a separate type of window that could open like a door. Or you could even, call it a windowed door. And it could be a door that could be used as an opening, shutting window that doesn't link up how this does. I'm just throwing that idea out there. Playful, if you're listening, I'm the ideas gal. So yes, this has been quite a lot of work. I was ever so worried for a while that ew, excuse me, I am losing my voice. No idea why. I thought it was too busy, that it was too garish, too loud. But it's growing on me, and I'm enjoying. Oh, hey. Come to me, my pretty. That's right. No, don't run away. Come back. I only want to kill you. Aha. And so, yes, completely distracted then. Found a keeper. So this main part, it's basically what I'm sort of calling the main compound. I've got lots of plans to make this all very decorative. I want to put some kind of plants and vines and all this kind of thing around here. I've just been doing the main sort of building, and as you can see, more haunted stuff here, which I think it works quite well. You want something to look well worn and that kind of thing. And it's amazing to me how you can combine different blocks in different types of contexts, and it kind of changes them from their original purpose. And I love that. I love that you can do that. I mean, I've got Moroccan blocks right next to Mayan blocks and just plain old dirt. But it's working. And I love that. Come on, you're going to get cross with me. I know you are. I've used the haunted carpeted stairs down here as a little bit of an accent. And there's a fence and there's a gap. And I didn't really want just a gap, which is why I've got the haunted carpeted stairs there to sort of make it look a bit lush. But the gap basically is just to stop animals from pathing over the fence. So it's practical but pretty at the same time. So there we go. I think I best sign off before I lose what's left of my voice. But yeah, and here's an example of what I plan to do sort of decoratively. So people who've been on the server may have noticed that I've been dying an awful lot, and yeah, it's because I need death statues. So it's kind of, all right, I'm going to stand here and just die and jump off this thing and die. I'm going to drown in the water just to die. Anything I can to make death statues. But yes, and I'm going to pick up a lot of this savanna grass to add the dirt and all this kind of thing. So lots cooking, and I haven't forgotten what I'm going to be doing in Central City as well. The plans are well, I can show you what I've done so far. So I was going to sign off, but you know, no, wrong house. This house. And this actually gives you an example. What I've done here is like this kind of little armchair. This is the sort of thing I'm going to do, because this, I know it's a carpeted stair, but it also looks to me a bit like it's furry. So yes, I think that works very well with an African theme. We'd kind of have fur and that sort of thing. So those are the type of benches that I'm going to do. I don't know even why I came in here. I'm only operating on half a brain cell today. And this looks like it's going to be longer than I thought, because I've got a lot to rattle on about. I'm just going to have a quick drink. That might clear my throat a little bit. Here we are. Let everything render. Ta-da! Completely different noises here than in Tashlan. But this is the sort of extension to the market that I've been doing. And I've kind of here made it a bit patchworky, where it's going from really healthy, happy to dead grass, weeds, a little bit more run down. So this is it's my little black market. So I've got these much dingier looking stalls with the wares not openly displayed, so you don't know. It's a little bit dodgy, you know, what are they selling? I've also used these pumpkins underneath this, so there's hidden lighting, which is why there isn't so much conspicuous lighting. Well, there's still a couple of pumpkins lying around, but primarily the light source is coming from under these stairs. And I've created these sort of little tables. I think they almost look like butcher blocks or something like that, and this can be where people can also display their wares. And this is going to come all the way around here, and what I've done on this side is going to get mirrored here. And this is why I've kind of paused, because I don't want to take down my little display quite yet. And that's pretty much what I've done with this little market. And what I'm going to do, I've had lots of ideas and plans in my head. I've decided that this will constitute the end of the marketplace, but because we've gone from really cheerful and jolly over here to a little bit seedy over here, is I am going to build a little hostel, but it's going to be slightly run down, a little bit gone to seed, and I've got a few plans for how I'm going to do the rooms and that sort of thing. Then what I'm going to do in this patch over here is I'm going to create a little sort of mini village. I'm going to try and make the buildings it's going to be a challenge, and I like that sort of thing, is to give them a minimum type of footprint and see what I can cram in there. And I want them to have, you know, a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and probably a little attic space or something. So that they're probably going to be a little bit tall. Oh, that looks new. Won't show it off again. No, we didn't see nothing. Didn't see nothing. Oh golly, that means we saw something. This is true. And I'm going to build houses around here, and then as we get to this point, let them get a little bit more raggedy and a little less kempt. So that's it. So kind of have, you know, the upmarket town, and then it sort of goes to the poorer district, to sort of this is where you go when you're living on bare minimum kind of thing. So that is the plan, and that's pretty much it. I have been running around gathering up recipes and things from all the ghosties, so that's been taking a lot of time. That it is fun. The ghost hunt is fun, and picking up all sorts of things, which, as you can see, I've been immediately putting to rather good use. So I've been having a lot of fun, and I hope you've had fun having this little tour with me. It's been a bit bitsy and chopsy and changey, I know, but I wanted to put something out there, and thank you for tuning in. That's quite old, isn't it? The old television, you tune it into the right thing. Oh, I'm showing my age. No. Thank you anyway. I love you loads, and until next time, peace out, peeps.